Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heel vs Babyface. Now on Friday I brought you a video for Galacras, which was the first of 4 bosses in the Gates of Retribution Flexi version of Siege of Orgrimmar. I'm here with a pug group. I don't know anyone, they don't know me, and I don't think anybody knows anybody. So this is a complete and utter uncoordinated group of people who are banding together to go through the Flexi difficulty level. And we succeed. We go through all 4 bosses. We 2-shotted Galacras. We 1-shot the Iron Juggernaut, which you're just about to see. Took about 5 or so attempts to kill the Shamans, and then we 1-shot General Nazgrim. For some reason, I don't know why, but General Nazgrim on Flexi level of difficulty is just ridiculously easy. But maybe that's due to the fact that when you cooperate with other people and you understand what your role is within the group, suddenly things just click into place. Now, very much like the video on Friday, instead of just regurgitating tactics for the Iron Juggernaut, I'm actually going to go into some of my thoughts and feelings about Raid Finder versus Flexi raiding. Now, if you followed me for a while, you'll understand that I am not, by any stretch of the imagination, a fan of Flexi raiding, but I no longer do full-time raiding. I did a lot of raiding in both Wrath of the Lich King and Burning Crusade, and a tinsy-wincy bit in Cataclysm. And I was part of a hardcore guild in the Wrath of the Lich King and the Burning Crusade raiding elements. So I thought as if I'd served my time. I'd done my porridge. I didn't have that level of time and effort to give into full-time raiding anymore. So if I wanted to progress my gear, the only way that I could do this now would be through Raid Finder. That would be it. And then getting gear with Valor points on top of that from vendors, etc. But there are no Valor vendors in patch 5.4. Yeah, you can only get your gear through Timeless Isle and Burdens of Eternity. But the whole Flexi level of difficulty really intrigued me. I tested it out on the first week of release and I loved it. I loved it. It suited me absolutely perfectly. I got a level of difficulty which I could do without, to be quite perfectly honest, not too much difficulty at all. You know, I can play to a much higher standard than Flexi, but at the same time, what made it really interesting was you still had to be part of a group of people who, although they may not know each other because they're a pug group, have to be coordinated and have to work as a unit to succeed. If you don't work as a unit in Flexi raiding, you will fail. And that was really, really attractive to me. So although I know that I could probably play to a higher standard, and a lot of the people probably in here could play to a higher standard, it was great that we still had to combine with each other. We still had to gel with each other. We still had to be on the same wavelength of each other and know our roles. So, something which has cropped up a lot in the forums recently about looking for aid is people's excuse of not having the time to do stuff. And I'll bite with that and I'll say, okay, because my excuse for not doing normal raiding anymore is I don't have the time for stuff. Or even though looking for aid only takes like 45 minutes to do all 4 bosses at a stretch. So, it was quite interesting when I came across a topic on the forums the other day where somebody was having a massive moan about the level of difficulty of looking for aid. And ironically, it wasn't that it was easy, it was the other way round. And their argument was that they said the vast majority of people looking for aid are people that can't put the time and commitment into the game. Which basically means we just want loot. We want to feel as if we've accomplished something by killing a boss. We don't have time to learn any of the mechanics of the fight. We just want to get things done pretty much straight away. So we want to get in, out, put the kettle on. Now, reading this thread, first of all, made me think, is this a troll? You know, is this somebody trying to be sarcastic? Or are they legitimately saying, we just want to come in, face roll a boss and move on? Because what I find very, very interesting indeed is this argument is the argument that we have in Mists of Pandaria. If I turn back to Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King in particular, where people used to pug together, not so much in Burning Crusade, but definitely in Wrath of the Lich King, where people used to pug together to actually do the level of raid difficulty that a raider would do. So if you got 10 people together for an ICC pug and went and did ICC 10 normal, that would be the same level of difficulty as any raiding guild would. The same with 25. And yet, Wrath of the Lich King, World of Warcraft had 12.8 million subscribers. It was at its peak. Yes, it was younger. Yes, it was more exciting and newer for people that were joining the game. But even with harder levels of content, it was still at its peak. Versus Looking for Raid, which came in at the end of Cataclysm, and all that's happened to World of Warcraft subscribers since is the drop. They just continue to drop and drop and drop and drop and drop and drop and drop. So LFR, Looking for Raid, hasn't enhanced the game subscription-wise. And if people are legitimately saying that they don't have the time or effort to put into a level of raiding, and they want the, you know, they want the loot and they want to feel accomplished, we never had that in Wrath of the Lich King. Now that's not to say the game can't evolve, but at the same time, to me, it says that this sense of entitlement is probably having more of a detrimental effect to the game than a positive effect to the game. Whereas flexi raiding, where you are playing at a level of difficulty which I believe is very, very doable by the vast majority of players within the World of Warcraft, they just have to learn how to cooperate with others. So what do you think? Do you think something like flexi versus LFR again? Are we seeing, or should we see LFR just totally phased out? Are you a fan of LFR and believe that there is a place in the game for just no-brain content that gets you decent levels of loot? Or is it having a detrimental effect and harming WoW? So I hope you enjoyed the vid. Please do like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook and Twitch, and I'll be back with more stuff very soon. Take care everybody. Bye bye.